We're here to do a quick check-in for the Aries new moon, which is going to be on the 24th of March. So I thought I'd check in with you guys, and I'm going to go house by house. Obviously, it is going to be your Aries and Chiron placement. This is going to be a unique energy because we have moved out of the super full moon in Virgo. And that's at 19 degrees, and it was on the 9th. Now, that residue energy will be there till the end of the month, but we are moving into the new moon of Aries on the 24th. So I wanted to get that sorted so that we could have a quick look at it. Now, obviously, in the collective, we're bombarded with all the reality of what is going on in the collective, and I'm not even going to name it because we know what we're talking about. Also, just be very mindful that there are other things actually going on apart from that. And yes, this too shall pass. So I wanted to lighten the energy up so that we could actually look at different aspects, that of what we can control, and really what's coming up for us individually per zodiac sign for the actual aspects of astrology. Now, obviously, we are going to be moving into the energy on the 21st of Saturn in Aquarius. Now, that is going to be quite unique, and I will mention the house for that through each zodiac sign as well. Now, it's really going to give you an undertone of what 2021 is going to be like, especially since when you move into that vibration, when we look at the Aquarian energy, it is connected to the collective. So there could potentially be a shift with that of what is in the media at the moment, especially when it does come to Saturn and Aquarius. And it is going to come down to our frequency and the way we are relating to the collective, or of what is happening currently in society. Now, frequency is extremely important. Fair-based frequency, it will always be your lower chakras. So it will be your sacral chakra and solar plexus. Definitely there has been a lot of crown energy, which is very much linked into the Pisces energy that we're moving through. So with Mercury in Pisces, it was around that energy that we were going through with Mercury, which again, it's crown chakra. Definitely with the pandemic, it's linking in with crown chakra and third eye. So, collectively, it is transforming the way we are looking at things. And with the 12th house activation, it is very much 12th house activation. It is the hidden. So you will find that suddenly there are some hidden secrets. There are some things happening again, similar to the collective. Now, when I say hidden, the 12th house is sort of like that dark closet. But at the same time, it's our mind, it's our thought process, a lot of meditation, of communication. Now, with all the squaring aspects, Mark brought this up. Hi, Dale. With the squaring aspects, we had a lot of squaring aspects to the nodes in Cancer and Capricorn, which has been there for 2.5 years. We're also going to be having more eclipse energies, but you'll find the heaviest part of the year will very much be around June, July, where we're actually having 3 eclipses. So it is back to back. And around May, we'll have the nodal change, but we also will have quite a few planets retrograde. Let's get into the energy. Now, the first one I've pulled is for Capricorn. Now, you guys are having with Saturn in Aquarius, it's going to be your second house. So your unique placement of Aries and Chiron happens to be your 4th house, which is your physical foundation. It's your safety, your security, domestic related issues, home related situations. Collectively, everyone has had that there in the Pluto energy, and we are ending that cycle, but it's continuing nevertheless. So with you guys, you may find that being that it's a new moon, it's a time after all you've learned from January through to now, and especially from 6 months ago, connected to where you are right now. What is your new findings in this, and what do you wish to manifest? What are the lessons that you've come through with this? Have you shifted your perspective when it comes to tactile assets versus your physical foundation and how that directly relates to you now? So it can be at a moment where you are actually looking at life. Thanks, Star. You're looking at life and you're becoming more rational with it. So the financial abundance and a self-worth energy for Capricorn, I feel if you guys are wanting to manifest in more physical goods, similar to cars, boats, houses, physical goods, things to the degree of upgrading things, it can be highlighted with this energy. Now, this is going to be a 3-month energy, which you're going to have a 3-month window to do that because Saturn will be retrograding into Aquarius. Saturn can be sort of quite strict, but it's a viewpoint. So the energy will be lighter and it will be more common trends about, how do I put it? You know, what is a common theme, especially if you're in marketing and you're looking at your career? Let me explain. Okay. Yes. Okay. You're being very controlled. It's funny because you've got your own card in reverse. You're being a more controlled Capricorn. You're being more cautious. Again, because Aries and Chiron happens to be your fourth house. How do I explain this? First placement is very much at a collective for you personally. You're looking at your wounds, and this is going to be here for 8 years for you guys. So it's going to be in your fourth house for 8 years. So the way you relate to trigger points, you're becoming more controlled, you're becoming more rational, and you'll find that being that it's going to be a new moon in Aries, it's a better time to manifest from a positive frequency, from a more rational frequency and a more controlled frequency. So I do feel you're really controlling that. It also can be where you're trying to get a grip on your fair base frequency. You also will have a bit more energy around this time to get tasks done and to become creative. Okay, interesting. You've got the Four of Wands in the health department. So again, home is going to be where the heart is. Try and look at it from that perspective. Try and turn home currently into a nurturing zone. If you need to, shape it where you can get to a place where you find a quiet spot within the home. And if there is chaos going on and people are stepping on your toes, etc., wherever your home vibration is, it's definitely coming from within. But you really need to create a little safe haven in the location so that you can have a space where you can be present and get grounded. And I really feel that's going to support you. You guys might be actually doing changes in the home. And again, this subject can come up if you are wanting to change things around and upgrade things. And it is coming up for you guys nevertheless. One more card. Okay. Financially, you guys are actually going to have a bit of help. When it does come to finances. This can be coming through a legacy, through a family member. It also can be where your savings are going to be corrected. So if you have been concerned about that, the laws of attraction are focus on that and the finances are going to come back to you. You know what you're made of. You're in your Capricorn energy. Try not to second guess yourself because there are going to be creative ways that you can actually generate income at this point. Next one. So I would love to timestamp. So feel free for anyone. I'll try and get a pen and I'll write it down. 7 minutes 58. Because I know people get quite upset and then they're like, hey, what's the time? 7:58. Okay. Do we have a Gemini in the house? Do we have Geminis? Now your Saturn in Aquarius is going to be your 9th house. Now, your 9th house is quite a spiritual house. You're also going to have Chiron in the 8th house, which, again, is linking into your ability to bounce back. And I feel this is very Mars-Pluto energy. And, you know, although it sounds quite a daunting house, it's an area where you're not codependent, okay? So not that I'm wanting to trigger you, but the house relates to life, death, money, wills, legacies, but it's more to do with you becoming non-codependent. It can be like insurance premiums, nest eggs, things to that degree. So it's really honing in on that, and this is really going to tap into your spiritual balance. So you're going to be looking at life differently. Every season has a lesson, and everything we're directly going through right now is helping us reshift our perspective. It's actually really helping us at the moment come to a place where we're becoming more practical. We're not making excuses. We're getting to a point where anything that isn't serving us, we're just being very selective. It's very similar to getting run down. Your ego is directly removed. You're just not playing. So with your 9th house, it is a very spiritual house. But this can also link into foreign countries. So if you had wanted to move, and this had been something in your mind, this can come up around the time that Saturn retrogrades into Aquarius. Now, anything you're going to need to do and anything that comes up, because it's in your religious house, education, foreign countries, and travel, this section to balance it out, use it might be, especially if you're in employment and you're looking at maybe selling things online, etc. What you're going to need to look at to balance this area is your communication house. So again, the Mercury energy, looking at creative ways you can actually generate that, and being quite creative. So some of you, especially if, say, you were a YouTuber, this would be a perfect time to actually look at different ways. Anytime we have Saturn retrograde, it's looking back over our flawed premise. It's also looking back on old ways we were doing things. And the following month, we are going to have Pluto going retrograde on the 25th. Now, the Capricorn energy is very accountable. We're having a bit of a break with Saturn, where it will be in Aquarius, which again is collective energy. It's the wider group. It's the bigger picture. And it's how the pieces of the puzzle in your life, Gemini, are actually going to fit into your life. You know, do you relate to the people around you with their belief systems? Is that triggering you? Are you able to anchor the energy in and keep people around you grounded? So it's things to that degree. Okay. Overall, this is a brand new start for you. So whatever you're venturing into, whatever you're thinking on, manifesting, the Aries energy is going to push you into a place where you can look at life a little bit differently. Now, as I mentioned, the 11th house for you guys is going to be your Aries in Chiron energy. Now, Pluto going retrograde next month will be your 8th house, which is the religious house. So between now and then, I would strongly suggest you guys look at your belief systems and see who is and who isn't in alignment with you and what these new findings are. And with this new start, if you're networking and you're working in a career sector that is dealing with foreign countries, etc., networking is going to be incredibly important. Now, so your 11th house is very much group orientated. It's friends, club, associates, and aspirations, but it's also the energy of technology and looking at things differently. But I'm feeling that you guys, Gemini, are going to be extremely important to the people around you. This is a time to manifest. Now, your health energy is the 7 of Cups. And again, keep your vibration correct. Still, the number 7 is very spiritual, but it also does attract the vibration of finances if you keep your vibration correct. Try to keep very practical at the moment. You know, if you do have various choices, various ways something can go about, with the Aries energy, you really want to be tapping into the frequency of being very decisive. So it's a bit like with the quincunx. You're going left, you're going right. It's like, keep it simple. You might have a lot on your plate at the moment. And I do feel as though you may be really in manifestation mode and the creative energies and juices are going to be flowing. Again, just keep very grounded. You also might feel a bit overwhelmed by potentially the way romantic connection might be going. And again, there could be too many ways something could play out, and that could be concerning you at the moment. But as I said, try and keep life simple. Try and keep life simple. I'll put one more for that. Yeah, again, take some time to meditate on this. Don't move forward straight away. If you're feeling a little bit overwhelmed and unsure about it, you might be painting all these pretty pictures. You might have got some information coming in. If it hasn't, potentially it could be. And with that information, I feel really sit on it a little bit. I'm also seeing some of you might have a love interest at a distance. And again, this can be coming through in your dream state, but I do feel as though you're thinking of how this can go. But it's not negative. It just feels like a dream state. I also feel they're telling me a few things here. What's going on with you guys, Gemini? Yeah, very, you may feel very lured. Now, if you guys have been in contact and this person's really spinning you something, just be very mindful to take a little bit of time to absorb it. Yeah, because look, in your finances, some of you are actually looking at a different way of doing something as well. And I do feel as though that's really the key at the moment. You're looking at your finances and you're thinking, okay, some of these things I was doing, I am not liking anymore, or it's not bringing revenue as you thought it would. But you do feel that there needs to be a shake up and a change, but there feels to be a delay. I do feel some of you, again, will be networking. And networking really is coming through in your read as a key. Aries. Have we got an Aries in the house? Okay, same thing for you guys. Okay, you've got your first house placement. So you guys, what are you changing about yourselves? You guys are coming through very much in the energy of wanting to change things, but actually looking at yourself and thinking, okay, how do you feel about yourself? Please don't stand in your way. Now, with the energy, yeah. Okay, with the energy of Saturn retrograding into Aquarius, for you guys, that is going to be your 11th house. Hi, Dar. Yes, I think I've turned the website off. I'll have to check in a minute. The 11th house for you guys is, again, the groups that you're mixing with. The hobbies, the technology, the bigger picture, the big vision of what you're trying to achieve. I do feel you guys for 3 months are going to be in reflection over this. There is a big change that you want, and it's you. You're going to take the bull by the horns, and I do feel it's going to be a huge wake-up call for you guys. I feel it's going to be quite a shift in your energy. Yeah, 2 choices. It's like 2 paths, 2 roads, but it's like you are narrowing things down and really making decisive action into where you want to be and who you want to be now. It does feel very, very decisive energy. This is also between an energy of romance and definitely career, but I'm feeling it's becoming very, very decisive, and you're definitely weeding out energies of who you don't want to be around. Let's pull a card for your health. Okay, due to the fact that Aries is the Chiron energy, you guys might be a little bit triggered around that time, but just know the only thing that really that's going to affect you is your mindset and the way you see things. Obviously, Chiron is the wounded healer. So coming up in your first house placement, try not to get too triggered. Try and keep grounded, because this is a manifestation moon. If you can really focus, let go of what doesn't serve you, because I feel if anything, it'll be a mind over matter, but you could be a little bit agitated. Your health, that's the only area there that is really going to be causing an issue, will be the moodiness and the energy, because potentially you may have too much on your plate at the moment. I do feel you're really being quite firm and strong about what you're wanting to achieve. In your finances, there is going to be a change. Okay, you're going to be able to bounce back, so stress less. This is coming through that this too shall pass. And 5s are all about change. It's going to be a very temporary transition. So if you are going through a change and you're swapping things about, or potentially you're concerned about the cash flow, it is going to change and there is going to be recuperation. Next, Aquarius. It's going to be your first house. Okay. Saturn and Aquarius will be your first house, guys. So let's have a look at what's coming through for you guys. How are we all? Are we keeping positive? I've been extremely busy. So, no, I haven't forgotten you. I'm trying to get back to business as usual. I have done Gemini, though. Oh, quickly. Gemini has Aquarius in the 9th house. So the 9th house is foreign countries, travel. If you're looking at a business online, best advice would be use technology, because it's really coming up to balance that house out. The 9th house, generally you use the Mercury energy, which is communication and technology. Now, we're doing Aquarius. Aquarius, being it's your first house, a lot about yourself is going to change. And again, it can be very similar to Aries. You guys are going to be very strict on yourself. The first house is all about what you've been showing people, and how they're seeing you, how you see yourself and how people see you. Also with Aries and Chiron in your third house, communication is going to be the key. So be very cautious about what you're speaking, because being that it's a new moon, you can accidentally manifest some things into a reality without even knowing. We do need to be mindful of what that is. Oh, you guys, okay. Your current position at the moment. Okay. I'm feeling as though you guys are potentially, you're going to feel more yourselves. You also, and really with the Aquarius energy, what you'll find is it's quite an out there zodiac sign where, you know, I mean, my daughter's an Aquarian, and growing up, she would mix and match things, and you just didn't know how it quite worked. But they're very unique in their own frequency. So they're quite flamboyant, but in a unique way. They're trendsetters. I feel you guys are coming through with this, and you're sort of wanting this energy in a shake-up sense. So a lot of people will understand you, but you will be looking at them, and you're going to see yourself inside of other people now. You will directly understand, and it's almost like I do feel people are going to turn to you. You're trying to be very patient, but you're wanting a lot of life to change. You have had deep frustration over the last few years, and I really feel you guys are just ready for this new leaf to turn over and things to get ready. You may intuitively know something's changing. And, you know, with your health, it's almost like no sooner do you feel it's not going to change, it physically is going to change. So try and keep positive, because all the things that you're directly dealing with at the moment that might be a little bit arduous, they are about to change. So, you know, just hold positive. This is a frequency that directly is changing. Now, in your finances, I do feel, again, you guys are going to be trendsetters. So if you are very skilled with certain things, this is going to be a deeply creative time for you guys to tap into that energy and have a look at where maybe there are things missing in the matrix, especially if you're networking and looking at your finances. Being independent is going to be incredibly important, but being an independent thinker when it does come to the big picture of life. You're also being asked with your finances to be quite responsible, but at the same time, you know, shift the energy of your finances into your career sector, and the things that you directly feel intuitively are going to be very important. Some of you, there is an opportunity here where you might be getting a contract, also getting married. I'm seeing that there could be a life partner coming into your realm. And if you have concerns in that financial domain, there is networking happening here as well when it does come to it. Try and be balanced and moderate, though, when it does come to your finances. But I am seeing for some of you, there is joining with other energies, and this can be in career, in partnerships. We definitely have Libra and Juno at the moment until May, where it goes direct, ironically, and then Venus goes retrograde. And really from January, it was very much feeling like marriages, contracts, partnerships with Juno was really under the microscope for all of us collectively, that we have been looking at, you know, all these things that haven't been working, maybe making excuses, not making decisions. And then finally, it's reaching that pivotal point over the last 2 previous months where we really have got quite fatigued, and now we're being very, very serious about what is relevant and what isn't. But we do need to keep our vibration high. So Aquarius, I'm feeling as though you guys are going to be moving forward fine. You also have Juno as your 9th house, which is a deeply spiritual house. So again, I really highly recommend for you guys, if you're in the networking game and you are using technology and things to that degree, it will really benefit you. So if you're putting resumes out and things to that degree, even though we have the things happening in the collective, use this time if you're homebound to get prepared and organized for other projects that you have as we move forward. And I do feel that's going to be quite a busy year for all of us collectively. Now we have Libra. As the pack's coming out, I'm pulling it. So, do we have a Libra in the house? Well, you guys have been assessing this anyway. Oh, wow. Okay. Libra, you guys are looking at love. You're looking at love. You're looking at contracts. You've got Saturn and Aquarius. So, the big plans for the next 3 to 4 months. Hi, Wendy. Hi, Stella. For the next 3 to 4 months, you guys are going to be focusing on your marriages, contracts, partnerships. The 5th house is romance, birth, children, and luck. Be careful. Okay, this is a saying. Be careful. If you can't be careful, how did they say it? My ex used to say this to me. He used to tell my daughter. He said, if you can't be good, be careful. If you can't be careful, buy a pram. And that's what's coming here. We've got the birth section here. Now, retrograde, be cautious for the next 3 months because that's a potential. Also, you will be reflecting upon these things and what they mean to you. What they mean to you and how the direct group, you could be in a relationship, you might have children, you might be co-parenting, etc. Whatever that energy is, you also will have a lot of connections to children for the next 3 to 4 months. Now, this energy will come back again in the new year, where your belief systems and your ability to be responsible and the way you look at life, you're making major decisions. Now, the Aries and Chiron energy is in your marriage sector energy. It's the 7th house, which again, Chiron and Aries is there. And Juno is in that location for you. So as I said, in every facet of life at the moment, it's really under the microscope for you guys. And you are looking at the bigger picture of where you're going. So you're willing to work with people that work with you. You're taking the fine tooth comb over things. And you are getting prepared for the bigger picture. I do feel you guys are multitasking at a very high level. I also feel you guys are being incredibly busy. And you're trying to do all you can. Okay. Interesting. I can hear a telephone. Anyway. Okay, your current energy. I might have to pull a clarifier on that. All sorts of energies could come up pertaining to relationships in general. Hurts from the past, who's there for you, who's not, discord. I'll have to look at other energies. 4th house placement, well, that'll make sense. Okay, with your Pluto, Capricorn is in Pluto, which for you guys is your 4th house. It's your physical foundation. It's domestic related issues. Now, you may be looking at where no matter what you do, you feel you can't win. Okay? Hi, Capricorn. With this frequency, again, it is the current thought, and with your wounds, remember the energy potentially could be past energy. Turn over that new leaf moving forward. Know that the new moon in Aries energy can link into your Chiron energy, which is the pain body experience. Is there a trigger point? Can you put that to bed? Can you turn over a new leaf and move forward? I feel with the nodes squaring Black Moon Lilith, we had a lot of the Pisces energy squaring the nodes and Black Moon Lilith. I do feel these all shadow sides we're directly looking at, especially with the Pisces frequency. So if this shadow aspect comes, I do feel T-sections in the road. You guys are making decisions. Old wounds can come up. And I'm going to pull a clarifier on that one for you guys because it's neither here nor there for me. It's not elaborating enough. What do you want to tell us about this? Okay, I'm being shown it's in the past. Let it go. So even though it could be coming up, hi love, it could be coming up. Like, just remember, it's the Aries and Chiron energy. The new moon for you guys is turning over that new leaf. Having that fresh start can also be energies coming back from the past. But needing to let those old energies go so you can bring this fresh energy in. It's no new energy, okay? So it's not something new's coming. It's an old memory. So if it comes up, deal with it, look at it, and just tune into the new of what you're wanting, not necessarily just stay in that frequency. Now, with your health, you could be really busy. So what you guys are going to need to do is actually try and keep as grounded as possible. You've got a lot of changes happening, a lot of moving of things around, a lot of preparing, and I did feel that for you guys. There is going to be upheaval. So I do feel future tense. You guys are planning for the future. This planning for the future may be by the time you get Aquarius, Saturn in Aquarius moving direct, I feel there could be some changes and movements, but I do feel between now and May, there could be a shift, and some of you may have already or may be moving. But it's more to do with you. Yeah, it's to do with you guys. Okay, finances, they are going to grow. Keep strong. Again, the sun, this is very much sun energy. And I'm going to pull a chakra card for you guys because I'm feeling that's going to be pretty important. If you guys can't go out, balance your solar plexus and sacral chakra. Try and get a little bit of sunlight, even if it's going out to a veranda, going out into your backyard if you have one, sitting near the window. Thanks, Stella. And that's really going to help change your frequency. Try and keep as busy as possible. Really focus on the energy. And this is for all of you guys. Focus on what you can control. What you can't control, this too shall pass. But if we lower our frequency, it will lower your immunity. Yeah, this is what you guys, Libras, I feel you guys understand these things. So try and use this time. If you're in hermit mode, any of you, use it effectively. Use it as a time of creativity, a time of replenishment. Anything you can't control, let it go. There's just no point focusing on it, especially when you're looking at particular videos. I'm not even going to say it. Focus on something else. There are so many other things that are going on, but accidentally when we click on YouTube, the first thing we see is you know what. So I'm just saying, this is not going to help. You'll also very much see the frequency of other people, which can be quite baffling and stifling. Sagittarius. Do we have a Sagittarius in the house? Oh, thanks, Star. Okay, Sagittarius, you guys, this is your third house. So Saturn is going to be in Aquarius, retrograding. That is going to be, I've got to get the date again. I've come midway, so I best give you the date again. It's going to be on the 21st. Okay, so it will be stationary, so the energy can be extremely heavy. You will find 1 to 2 days before, and then a few days after, it's going to take a little bit of time to energetically balance. But it's also a great time. So again, there can be things in the collective happening, and this is very much Jupiter energy. So you guys are governed by Jupiter. So your growth and your movement, the way you're doing things, it can be a little bit arduous at the moment because you're having to do things quite differently. But all of us collectively are doing this. So please don't feel that you're alone and you're having to achieve those things, you know, on your own. Communication for you guys is going to be the key. Technology and things to that degree can come up in a subject matter. You may become extremely creative to do with that. You've also got to be very mindful with the Aquarius energy. The nodes are going to be changing in May into Gemini and Sagittarius. Be very mindful of what you see and what you absorb and be disconcerting, because the energy of Gemini is very much communication technology, Mercury, and you've got to decipher and have your own mind to tune into what you feel is correct. So don't take everything as a physical gospel. Really always come back to self and have a look at that. Now with your communication, it's communication, self-expression, and short journey. These energies are going to come up. And I do feel this can be information coming to you. This can be information that had been withheld from you. I'm not feeling this negative. I feel it quite positive. Now, Aries in Chiron is your 5th house placement. And again, this is romance, birth, children, and luck. Now, you're manifesting new energies in this area. So although it is your 5th house and it is a new moon, yes, potentially a wound can come up, but you do need to look at it from not what happened in the past, what you are willing to move forward with at this point in time. And do you relate to the energy of the wider group? Now, for you guys, do you directly relate to the people you talk to? Do you have the same belief system? Are there cross wires? Do you need to communicate with people that maybe you have not spoken to for a while, and there have been some things that you haven't been able to articulate? And I think this is quite important. Being that it's your 4th house, you may be driven to or feel that you need to. Okay. Now, tap into your spirituality, because you've got the Hermit card. Don't isolate yourself. Again, use technology if you need to. So if you're unable to go to a person and you feel at a distance to them, it's interesting that we happen to have that in your communication sector, and the fact that your energy is coming through in hermit mode energy. Now, I lived in a home and it had the same number. And I do find it's a very sacred number. 9 energy is very much hermit mode energy. It's very much spiritual energy. When you look at it in the 9th house in astrology, again, it's religion, it's spirituality. 9 is the vibration of upgrading, healing, and recouping. And I feel as though do such, but don't isolate yourself. Really balance that energy. And again, to balance the communication house, you need to tap into the energy of your own personal belief systems and what you've learned. And again, where you're going at the end of the year. So I do feel you guys are going to be planning quite a bit. Let's have a look at your health. If you guys have been portrayed again, remember your romance house has come up. So again, if this comes up, it's more going to be in a vibrational trigger point. So if there had been a betrayal or somebody had hurt you with the past, or this has been on your side of the fence, another, it could come up in conflict and arguments, but remember to keep your vibration correct. Because all that's coming through, especially since, yes, it's going to be a new moon phase, which is deep and positive. It's also our Chiron and Aries placement. So just be mindful of that. If the trigger comes up, you need to let it go, or you need to sit with that energy a little bit and use the traffic light analogy. You're triggered, red, stop. Go into the yellow energy, inner child wound, sit there with the energy. What do you want to do? What do you want to achieve out of this? After you have established that, green, come from the heart and proceed. Okay, finances. You guys might be, again, having energies and situations. I'm telling you, you guys might be actually dealing with a lot of situations at the moment. And I'm feeling you guys to be really busy, trying to be everything to everyone. You need to nurture yourself. And I'm really feeling as though you're trying to be productive and balanced. You're trying to catch up. There could be conflict in families at the moment. And again, with finances, it's like I'm feeling more conflicting interests, like having to be in too many places at once, or being unable to and feeling frustrated. Any questions, Sag? Just be mindful, if there was past hurt, it could rear its ugly head. Whatever's supposed to come up will come up, but just sit with that energy first to know it doesn't control or denote that this connection needs to be negative. It is a wound, and the wound of what is coming up may affect your vibration. So if you're mindful of that, pre-warned, forearmed. Overall, again, there could be a little bit of money going towards places that you didn't think you'd have to, but you can also be helping other people, or they could be helping you. Not bad. Anything else I need to tell you? Okay, your psychology would have been quite affected because of the Neptune and Pisces energy is your 4th house placement, and it can actually cause distortion of mind, disillusionment, feeling quite overwhelmed because it's connected to the physical foundation of life. So if you have been triggered, yes, it's going to shake off, especially since we had so much Pisces energy. It would have made you feel very, very supercharged. Yeah, it's very busy energy. And I feel, look, you'll always find in the zodiac a masculine energy and a feminine energy of that same zodiac will directly relate to it different. Some internalize things, some externalize things. So it just depends on how they directly are, relating to that energy. Pisces, we have your 12th house. Some of you guys, with Aquarius moving into your 12th house again, it will be a bit like a spiritual awakening, but there can be some truths that come up inside you personally. There can be some revelations. Your psychic gift may develop even further. Also, you may be finding that spiritually you're tuning into things before they're occurring. Try and use some crystals. My highest advice, and again, I'm not a doctor, you can use amethyst to balance this energy. You can also use the meditation if you find with all the Pisces energy that we had, you were having nightmares or, you know, visually seeing things. The realm was quite thin, and due to the fact that we had the Neptune aspects, for those that are psychic, they will be more inclined to see things more so. So I'm just saying. Now, you are going to be having Aries for the moon in your second house. You might be looking at, again, white goods, fridges, washing machines, things that you're wanting to upgrade, vehicles. During the energy of the new moon, if in the past you had so many things taken from you and you're feeling lack mentality, this is going to be an opportunity to look at that wound and to actually start deciding what is worth fighting for and what's not. If you're wanting to achieve certain targets and achieve certain goods, you know, looking at the creativity, sending it out into the ethers is going to benefit you. Overall, there is team orientation energy coming. So something is going to happen very, very quickly. And I do feel this is surrounding the energy of 12th house for you with the Aquarian energy. This can be a person from the past coming in. It is a very, very deep spiritual connection. I'm also feeling communication from people from afar, and this potentially could be due to the fact that the energy of Mercury is moving. There can be, again, with the 12th house energy of the Pisces frequency coming through for you guys especially, messages and information from the past coming towards you. So if you haven't heard from a particular person, this could be the time that it actually comes about. Especially with the fire energy coming through on the card, it can be deeply passionate. Now, your health, you need to be very, very rational with your health at the moment. And I'm feeling as though, especially with the second house energy, don't overextend yourself. Definitely, how do I put it? Keep your fluids up. Because when you have the 12th house activation, it tends to only be able to be cleared with crystals, meditation, wearing purple. It can also be drinking fluid, so it's very fluid orientated. So try and make sure that you don't get dehydrated, and you'll know because you can actually pinch your skin. I'm dehydrated. I love my coffee. I can't help it. Anyway, it will drop down. There will be no, there you go, you get my point. That's dehydrated. I promise I'll drink water later, okay? Now, finances. Don't overextend and buy things that you don't need because you may regret it. And again, just keep an eye on that. Only get what you need. Circle of concern. What you can control is in front of you. Don't overextend. Again, with the 9 energy, try and be very practical because I do feel this is going to keep you grounded. If you're getting agitated, be cautious again with trigger eating, but I'm feeling more, you know, try not to freak out about cash components right now because it is going to pass. But if you're at a loss and you just don't know what to do, tune out of it, okay? What we can control is what we directly relate to. What we can't, let it go. Yeah, it's like let it go, but don't be silly with it. Don't gamble it away. That's pretty much what's coming through. Don't take a punt. Not the right time to do that. Try and sit with the energy, especially if you're moving towards anything in the career sector. It's not over, but it's like try and take the practical approach. Be rational with things and meditate upon what you're trying to achieve. I do feel whatever has gone, new is replacing it. So whatever you lost, it's coming back. And with the new moon in Aries, it'll be more the trigger point of what occurred in the past over what is a reality moving forward, especially with the 12th house energy there. Anything else I can say that I need to tell you? Yeah, lots of lessons this year, but very much in the communication sector. When the nodes do change over to Gemini and Sagittarius, your 4th house activation is going to be there. So learning to really be very flexible, but also being able to change very radically. Let's go to the next zodiac sign before my phone goes flat. Virgo. Virgo, you have your 6th house activated with Saturn. This links into your work environment. Okay, big changes for you guys, big networking, big transformations. You guys have plans. You guys are being very serious, and I feel the super full moon in Virgo for you guys being your first house. I feel you guys had a massive purge. You had a massive shift. You really checked yourself, and now you guys are ready to play ball. You're going to play ball with the big boys. Now, for you, Chiron is in your 8th house. And the reason I mention that is because the new moon's going to be in Aries. So your 8th house links into, again, life, death, money, legacies, but your ability to not be codependent. What can you depend on? How can you look at life? And again, I'm feeling this is your employment and the power of your creativity. You guys are great at organizing. And I do feel there will be a celebration. There can be some things coming in, and your networking is going to be key. And I do feel moving forward, whatever you're sending out into the ethers is going to create that. And you're going to be very, very happy about this. There is going to be a celebration. So if it has been delayed, rest assured that this energy moving forward, it's coming towards you, especially with your work domain activated. Now, again, I'll say the 11th house, no, the 8th house. Don't let the past hold you back. Even if you felt you failed, don't let the past hold you back, because you guys have a lot to look forward to. And don't currently take what is going on here in the here and now as permanent. It is not. If you had something terrible happen in the past when it did pertain to income, finances, etc., and your wounds of your career, don't let it trigger you. If there was a court case, if there was a contract or a legality and something went down, don't allow it to trigger you, because this is the card of such. But again, remember that the Aries energy, again, is the wound. So your career sector, the only thing that will hold you back is your mindset, your conditioning, and fair-based frequency of what occurred in the past. Can even be what's occurring currently, triggering and activating a wound. Disconnect from it, shift your energy onto what you directly can control. Now, many of you are being very, very rational about how you spent. You're also not allowing people to manipulate you for your cash component, your time, your money. You are being very cautious, and I feel some of you are really budgeting, but you're also, you're paying it forward, but you're not being manipulated by things. So the old theory of you scratch my back, I'll scratch yours. Yes, it's so, but you're being very, very disconcerting at the moment. I feel you're being cautious. Some of you might have been burnt in the past. You're holding your cards close to your chest, but you've got a lot of luck surrounding you. Your health overall, I feel the only thing that will affect it will be a memory and a frequency. Make sure you do everything above board, which I feel you guys are, and everything should be fine. If you are waiting on finances to come in, it is showing that it will be, but I'm feeling more May. And it's not to say this is for a large sum. So this large sum, I feel, if you're waiting on this contract or a court case to end, again, I'm not a legal advisor, this card is the card of such. What I'm being shown is around May. Scorpio, I've got 2 more. Scorpio, your 4th house. Okay, Aquarius, Saturn retrograding into Aquarius is going to be your 4th house. Chiron and Aries linking into your wound, as well as the new moon in Aries, is going to be your 6th house, which again is your work domain. Oh, work-life balance, guys. A lot of work-life balance going on here. Okay, you want a new beginning. Some of you, you're really looking at life. You can be changing things around the home. You're doing, it's like you're trying to be 2 people. I'll just say, you're trying to be 2 people. You're trying to be at-home dweller as well as worker. Some of you might be working from home. Some of you might be considering that. A lot of what you're wanting to change is going to come into major highlight over the next 4 months. You guys may wish to change these things to be more comfortable. So again, it can be relocating. It can be looking at your physical foundation, nurturing, nesting. And also who the role directly relates to. You're wanting a fresh start overall. You're wanting a new beginning, and I do feel by the time Saturn retrogrades into Aquarius, then we move to the energy of the new moon on the 24th. So we've got the 21st, which is Saturn retrograding into Aquarius. We then have the 24th, which the new moon in Aries at 4 degrees is occurring. And for you guys, as I mentioned, it's your Chiron placement, which is the wound. It's going to be your 6th house. Lots of new beginnings, and I'm feeling it's almost like eclipse energy. It's like, right, out with the old, in with the new, let's take a leap of faith. This is really going to be an eye-opening time for you guys of what needs to change, and it can be on the home front. You need this to happen because your plans are currently changing. So your whole vibration overall, your domain is going to be very unique to you. It's almost like you're taking on the Cancer energy of the shell. So, you know, wanting your home domain to be your nurturing zone where it's accommodating, it's in good vibration. And I feel this is going to be really essential for you guys. There can be a delay, but the change of plans is going to help you refocus on really what is important. So whatever comes up, be flexible. Be flexible, just temporarily. It's going to pass. There can be a nagging situation that occurs, and you've got other plans or things to that degree. Just be patient with it because it's going to shift. It might aggravate you a little bit, but in the long run, it's giving you clues as to what you do want moving forward. Your finances, again, you're being very strict. You could be strict. This could be with someone you're dealing with or directly yourself, but I feel it's people around you. I don't feel it's you. I feel your mind's on your money. You can see the bigger picture. You're the detective, so I'm seeing you guys almost like you can't lie to me kind of energy. That's what it's sort of feeling like. It's like, yeah, okay, we need X, Y, Z, but you're seeing B, Z, A. You get my point. Next. Taurus. Hey, beautiful Taurus. Last but not least, and I'll answer a few questions and hopefully the phone won't die. Taurus, you guys are having Saturn retrograding into Aquarius in your 10th house, which is your career, your reputation, your fame or lack of. How have you been on mission? Okay. What is your emotional connection to your employment? 4 months of reflection. Now, if you have been working in a career and it's been a 9 to 5 and trying to get you by, this may highlight where it's out of alignment and is this temporary, and if it is, what you're going to do to achieve the bigger dream. I do feel you're going to have a complete shift of perspective, and especially connecting in with what has been going on in the collective. Has it been done? I don't know. I'll have to check. Give me 5. I'll check in a minute. I can't remember. I'll do this one and I'll have a look through the paperwork. I don't think I did. Maybe I doubled up. Okay, Chiron is going to be your 12th house. So on top of your career, what are your spiritual beliefs? Again, are they in alignment? Some of you might be doing 2 jobs. I'm just saying. Spiritually, you may have one idea. Physically, in a 3D reality, you have another. And it may be because you do happen to have the Uranian energy in your 1st house. So, you know, your mission is change. Now, this is almost like with the 12th house energy. You have your loved ones around you. Now, some of you might be afraid of passing. It's fear-based frequency. There also could be an energy of a loved one who had passed over that is around you and protecting you. And I feel this is a past energy. I don't feel this is a current energy. And potentially for you guys, with Uranus and Taurus being your 1st house, there can be a lot of changes happening. So it just feels a spiritual transformation, especially with the 12th house. Now, overall, you're being very strict with yourself. You feel that things have been quite harsh in your life. And again, you've done the very best you can with what you had. Too many. I'm hearing as soon as you've started getting back on track, there's frustrations. Again, they may be minor things. But it's like there's been some sense of an interruption on your bigger picture of where you're wanting to go. A plan of action. Yeah, a delay in the manifestation. You're wanting your energy back. You're wanting to go and take the bull by the horns and take life forward. So this is frustrating you, this delay. Your health. I do feel the Pisces energy may make you feel quite fatigued. And again, you have this card, but I'm not feeling that. I'm feeling more, when we talk in layman's terms of spirituality, it's an ending of one cycle and a beginning of a new. With your 12th house, the things you relate to will suddenly do a 360 and change. Again, you may tend to find with the 12th house activation, you tend to get very fatigued. So it may feel a little bit like chronic fatigue. Yeah, chronic fatigue, headaches, sinus, which, yes, if you're sick, go to the doctors. But you have a spiritual awakened energy coming. Financially, all work, no play makes for a dull day. You could be getting worn out, working too hard. You might have had quite a bit coming in, but unable to spend it because you're too busy. Keep that, and really the highlight for this is going to be balance is necessary. And again, with the 4 energy, trying to find solutions with your cash component is going to be incredibly important, but I do feel you need to rest. I'm also feeling an external energy is going to assist, and there also could be a romantic partner that is coming in for those of you that are single. Let me check if I've done Cancer. That's about the only one I think I hadn't done. Have I done Cancer? Gemini. No, I haven't. Where's Cancer? Okay, let me check. Cancer. Okay. Saturn retrograding into Aquarius for you guys is your 8th house. Your 8th house, again, is how you can be self-reliant. Oh, you guys are on fire. I'm actually not surprised because the nodes, the squaring nodes, had been making major aspects to Black Moon Lilith and Chiron throughout the month. And moving into this energy, both Cancers and Capricorns are really in the thick of it when it does come to transformation energy. You'll also find the energies of Libra and Aries and Taurus doing deeply transformative states. Now, there will be other aspects this year that you'll find. There'll be Sagittarius, there'll be Gemini, and I'll mention the others later. Definitely Leo as well as in the thick of it. Now, for you guys, Cancer, not only do you have your 1st house placement, obviously, because the nodes are there, and we did just move through previous months, the Cancer eclipse in January. We are moving into that in the next few months where we'll have another one. You guys do happen to have the energy of Saturn retrograding into Aquarius in your 8th house. Now, your 8th house does link into life, death, money, legacies, your ability to be codependent in other areas other than on people. So it can be more insurance premiums, nest eggs, superannuation, shares, things to that degree, right? Thanks, Sway. Now, for that energy, you're looking at the bigger picture and you're like, right, I need to make a plan of action. You know there's no turning back over old energy. You're reflecting back on everything you've learnt. And I feel this is very accountable. And I'm sort of getting the feeling, especially since your energy is a family-orientated sign and your shadow sign is Capricorn, which is in, you know, your relationships potentially may have treated you like a bank. I'm just saying. Okay? Might have treated you like a bank. Especially there might have been links to government, legalities, contracts, and it's very much your 7th house. With the Aquarian energy of your 8th house, again, you guys are going to be looking at the bigger picture of being really set up and manifesting things, and you've got 7 here. And I'm feeling more career, the bigger picture, and the things you're wanting to plan. Now, with the Aries energy, what have we got for your Aries energy? Your career. You're looking at the bigger picture. Now, try to remember Let me look at your Venus house. Yeah, good. Okay, previous years, I'll be honest with you, just looking at your chart, I can honestly say you guys may have literally felt that everything was your job. Everything was your job to make it perfect, and if it wasn't perfect, it was your bloody fault. You're learning a new way now. You've learned a new way. You're manifesting for you. You're being taught that you're not the bank. You're not the savior. You are your own savior. And if a person can come into your life in the same manner, you guys can come together equally. But a lot of burdens have been on your plate. You guys are ready to move away from that energy, and you're ready to move into amazing energies of finance, amazing energies of spiritual finance. Now, you're happy to be playful with the energy, providing you have a balance. Now, if your partner, if you're in a partnership and your partner can respect your career and they're non-codependent, this will balance and it will be a beautiful union. Some of you may actually be looking at your relationship and be looking at how it all meshes. But you also could be questioning where you need to get into balance. But I do feel in the past, anytime you were trying to create a career, you were really very confused about how you could do that within connections because you needed to have too many hats. And I'm feeling, providing you're in the right tribe, I do feel some of you are networking very well. Don't eat where you do your business though. And that's very much, you know, a theme coming through here. You're looking at the bigger plan, and I feel you're networking. So if you're networking, make sure that you are supported by your partner and your partner supports you. If you're single, again, be very relaxed in moving towards your hopes and dreams. Financially speaking, this again, any love you're pouring into yourself, it's going to come back 360. I also do feel connection, and people around you that you care for are going to be helping you as well. Now, your health overall, I do feel you guys are quite focused on love and the bigger picture. Any cancers in the house? Yeah, you're changing your finances. You're making sure that you're following your intuition to avoid any disasters. And yes, in the past, maybe there was some pain body experiences. Walk away from that energy and understand that you are more than finance. All right? Your love and the people that you surround yourself with are going to teach you a new way. And yes, there has been pain in the past about people treating you like a bank, a carer, a nurse, a punching bag. Not a human. That is changing. Yeah, that was their failure, okay? Not yours. Don't own that. Any questions while I'm in the house before I go for a break and do more caffeine drinking? And I'm sorry I don't look very flash, but I had to come and talk. I had to come and say yes because it has been a few days. I've had so many changes. I just have not been able to get to you. I have had so many bookings. Get in as soon as you can. I'm going to block a few days off, and I'll probably start doing the Zodiac signs in about a week, maybe less. And I'll go live, and I will set the schedule as to what days I'm doing earth, air, fire, water. But I will schedule them so that you can join, and I will be doing all the Zodiacs live for the month of April. I shall also do another one shortly, and we will look at next month. We do have the super full moon in Libra. We have a lot of super full moons this year, I'm telling you, and we've got a lot of eclipses. This is going to be the interesting year to date. Interesting. The vibration of eclipses can last 6 months. They also can be extremely heavy. We also have the Saturn-Pluto energy coming through, which is with the squaring and the conjunctions, it does make the energy heavier. This month has been extremely heavy. How can I spiritually protect myself? I work in a pharmacy. Honestly, I was thinking about it the other day. And it's interesting because when you look at heart science, they say that the heart organ is a very strong, and it's scientifically proven now, you'd know this, Our heart vibration being strong, it flows and it clears energy, but it also protects that auric field. When you when you go into the mindset of thinking, I'm going to get sick, I'm going to get sick, I'm going to get sick, you're actually dropping your auric field down. If you feel it's going to happen, it's going to happen. If you understand, think of it, try and detach from the vibration and the trigger, because even watching people at the moment, you don't even need to be scared, and you're watching people going through the shopping center and you're going, wow, okay. Don't smash yourself with the media. Do the PPE like we usually do. If it gets to the point, I mean, I worked in community for 25 years, and we all know the risks. So if I need to, I will actually go back to that as well. Because if it's meant to happen, it's going to happen. And psychically speaking, I did see a few articles the other day, and I had the strangest download, and it was like, it's just going to go like that. And I don't know why, but that's how it felt. It felt it was just going to stop. As we know, they're already doing research on a immunization for it, if you want to call it that. You know what I mean. Which theoretically they already do have a cure for it. But it's getting it kind of authorized, etc., checked. So we kind of have a ballpoint time, which is a 2 to 4 month max wait. So this too shall pass. It's been more, honestly, the thing that would concern me the most will be finances. There have been many people that have moved through wars. And when I went to the shops and I see the elderly walking around, like, it's obviously, yes, they're older and they have had their life, but you need to look at it practically. There's people who have lived through wars, famines, and we're carrying on like pork chops, and these people have seen it firsthand. Try not to embarrass ourselves. We are standing for other people in the collective. We need to be there for our children. We need to be there for our friends. Smile at people at the shops. Be human. If you need to take time, but be human. Yeah, it's very sad. It's very, very sad. I mean, we had fires throughout the world and we all came together. You'll find with the super full moon in Virgo, it does link in astrology to amplify things. But, we're only amplifying what's inside us already. And all the Chiron placements were being activated. We had so much Aries energy in February. We had the conjunction, which is very much linked in previous times of wars and pandemics. This is a total new cycle we're moving into. And with any new cycle, there's an ending of the old. There's a whole change in the way we move in society. So there's a shake-up, right? So that occurred. Then with the eclipses in Cancer, it's connecting into our tribe, the people we care about, how we relate to them, what society wants us to do. The Capricorn energy is very much governments, banks, infrastructure, hospitals. We have to look at this in a positive sense. What is it teaching us? How maybe we can look at quarantine, how we can look at advertising, how we can look at our countries. Maybe instead of getting imports and exports from only one location, spreading it wide. What can we create ourselves versus what we need to get from other people? And it's re-networking ourselves. Meanwhile, while we're going balmy, we're not looking at the reality of what this is going to change for the future. It's given the ozone layer a break. 9/11, I hate to mention it, but 2 weeks, having no planes in the sky, look at what it did. We create a lot of bloody pollution. It's giving the air a break. It's giving the planet a break. We're human beings. There are other species every day that die. We do need to think about the planet. We do need to think about the animals. We do need to think about our elderly. Also setting an example for people around us. If you can be the calm, rational one, we need you. People need to calm the fuck down. It is what it is. If universe feels it is. But if we have, and we get asked this question all the time, if this was your last day on the planet, what would you do? Well, I wouldn't buy a bloody toilet roll. I can tell you that now. Yeah, it would probably be the last thing. I mean, this helps us be practical. Now, are you living in practicality? I mean, to me, I get excited, not from the pandemic, obviously, but look, I lived on a farm and we would buy food once a month. I'm incredibly used to this. So if we do get bored and you guys can't go out, I will cook for you and I'll show you how to do very simple meals because I'm what they call a farmer's chef. From very small portions, I can make it go a very long way. And living in a third world country was deeply educational, and this can really upgrade people. It can really teach you how to be very practical, how to ration your food, how to not be wasteful. This will really show you how much you've been wasting. You may be embarrassed by yourself of how much you have not been using your food, recycling your food, recycling jars and using them. These are things I have been doing for many years. And it is due to the fact I lived on a farm. You can make a very cheap bread with a cup of flour, a pinch of salt, and a teaspoon of oil and mix it with water. And it is like damper. And you dry bake it in a pan. And you have an instant piece of bread. And if you don't have a bread maker, I can tell you, you will waste a lot of flour in a bread maker. If you need a quick feed, it is the same as having a pancake that isn't fluffy. It's like a pita bread and you cook it quick. It depends on where it goes. But knowing where your food comes from are things we should have always known. Taking the pressure off your bank. Actually planting vegetables that you can on your terrace, for instance. When I've bought spring onions for years, I've chopped the bottom off and I've planted them in the garden. Hi, sweet. Oh. Well, I'm trying to come to you guys more regularly. I do need to do a TF update, but I wanted to get the energy for the moon done. So I will put information in the community tab and I can come back because I'm still multitasking. It's so sad, not because of the pandemic, but because, hey, there's nothing at the shops. I should take you for an Australian get around to see our shopping centres. They're going to have so much toilet paper in their shed. They're going to not, what are they going to do with it? They can make a bunk bed. Love and light. If you are wanting to make a booking, jump in quick. I still have the special then because I know you guys are buying toilet paper. So go to the link below and grab a booking. Take care, Jill. I'll try and come back again tonight. Bye.